So tell me what you're going to do today. Where are you heading right now?
Well, amazingly, we actually just landed a couple of hundred yards from the eruption, actually on the volcano. We got out of a helicopter just 200 or 300 yards away from the eruption and were able to walk up and watch it, and it was astonishing. We stood there just a couple of football fields away and watched it blow, and it was incredible.
What was under your feet? Was it rock? Was there heat?
We were standing on frozen ash. It's freezing cold up there. There's a light layer of snow. And we stood on the ash, and it was silent except for the sound of the wind, which was very, very strong. It was below zero, extremely cold. It was hard to breathe, and the eruption was enormous.
What did you hear and see?
We couldn't hear anything but the gusting wind, extremely strong wind. But what we could see was the eruption, enormous. And not just the huge white plumes that we've seen in some of the other shots, but we could also see the darker ones exploding with ash. Chunks of ash, large chunks.
When you say large chunks, how large?
Hard to say from the distance of a couple of hundred yards, but they seem to be the size of kitchen tables, maybe bigger.
Wasn't the wind blowing the ash all around you and up your nose?
Amazingly, no. We were completely free of ash. All of the ash, because the wind is so strong, was blowing immediately to the opposite direction that we were in. It's also interesting to see, as you see all the ash and steam coming up, to know what we experienced on the other side, the villages that are on the other side of the mountain and the people who are living under this.
When you traveled up in there, it was as dark as midnight at 3 in the afternoon.
I've never experienced anything like it. It was like some sort of post-apocalyptic nightmare. Pitch black on a bright sunny day. We got out and explored outside for a little bit. We had full face masks on to protect our lungs. We also had goggles on, and we saw animals. We saw horses, we saw swans, other birds who were out in this, clearly confused, and I can't imagine what it would have done to them. I mean, this isn't just like breathing smoke. They're breathing in chunks of rock is essentially what this ash is.
So what does it do physically if you breathe too much of it?
They haven't put out health advisories here, surprisingly, but clearly it's bad for the lungs. I mean, this isn't just smoke. It's actually tiny particles of rock and glass. It's solid.
So where did you find your gonzo helicopter pilot, and are you sure he was sane?
We're not sure he was sane, but he's a great pilot. And he told us, oh, it's okay, and he flies the scientists all the time. And, we figure he wants to live too. So we thought we were okay. And turns out we were.
What an adventure. Thank you, Neal.
Thanks, Diane.